It is important to note that characterizing truth-telling as a universally horrible thing in America is an oversimplification. However, it is true that there are instances where truth-telling can be challenging or met with resistance. Here are a few factors that may contribute to the perception that truth-telling is difficult in contemporary American society. Polarization and confirmation bias. American society has become increasingly polarized, with deep divisions along political, social, and ideological lines. This polarization often leads to the formation of echo chambers, where individuals surround themselves with like-minded people and information that reinforces their existing beliefs. In such environments, truth-telling may be met with skepticism or hostility, as it challenges preconceived notions and challenges the narratives embraced by particular groups. Disinformation and fake news. The widespread dissemination of misinformation and the rise of fake news have made it increasingly difficult to discern truth from falsehoods. Misinformation can be deliberately spread to manipulate public opinion or advance specific agendas. This climate of information overload and uncertainty can make it challenging for individuals to navigate and trust reliable sources of information. Erosion of trust in institutions. Trust in institutions, including the media, government, and other authoritative bodies, has declined in recent years. Scandals, instances of corruption, and perceived bias in reporting have contributed to a lack of trust in these institutions. When people view these institutions as untrustworthy, they may be more skeptical of information presented by them, making it harder to accept truth even when it is presented. Confirmation of personal beliefs. People tend to seek information that confirms their existing beliefs and values. This confirmation bias can make it challenging for individuals to accept and acknowledge truths that contradict their preconceived notions. When truth challenges deeply held beliefs or threatens one's identity or worldview, there can be resistance or denial. Political and ideological motivations. In highly charged political and ideological debates, truth can be manipulated or distorted to serve partisan or ideological interests. This instrumentalization of truth can lead to a climate where truth-telling is undermined or dismissed if it does not align with a particular agenda. While these factors can make truth-telling more challenging in some contexts, it is important to emphasize that truth remains an essential pillar of a functioning society. Promoting critical thinking, media literacy, and fostering open dialogue can help counteract these challenges and encourage a culture that values truth, transparency, and accountability. Certainly. Here are some additional points regarding the challenges of truth-telling in contemporary American society. Political polarization and tribalism. The increasing polarization of political discourse in America has created a climate where truth can be weaponized for political gain. Tribalism, where loyalty to one's political or social group takes precedence over objective truth, can lead to the dismissal or distortion of inconvenient facts. In such an environment, truth-telling may be seen as a threat to the narrative of one's own tribe, resulting in resistance or backlash. Media landscape and information overload. The advent of digital media and the proliferation of online platforms have democratized information but also created challenges. The rapid spread of information, combined with the click-driven nature of many online platforms, has incentivized the production and dissemination of sensationalized or misleading content. The constant barrage of information can be overwhelming, making it difficult to discern truth from falsehoods and leading to a sense of distrust or apathy. Attack on journalistic integrity. The media, as the traditional purveyor of news and information, has faced increasing scrutiny and attacks on its credibility. Accusations of bias, fake news, and the blurring of lines between opinion and objective reporting have eroded public trust in journalistic institutions. This erosion of trust can make it challenging for journalists and truth-tellers to be heard and accepted by a skeptical audience. Influence of social media and filter bubbles. Social media platforms often employ algorithms that personalize content based on users' preferences, creating filter bubbles that reinforce existing beliefs. This can limit exposure to diverse perspectives and make it harder for truth to penetrate echo chambers. In these self-reinforcing digital spaces, truth-telling can be met with resistance or dismissed as part of a perceived bias. Emotional appeals and post-truth politics. In some instances, appeals to emotion and personal beliefs have gained prominence over factual accuracy. Emotional narratives can be more persuasive than objective facts, particularly when they tap into deeply held fears, biases, or values. This phenomenon, known as post-truth politics, can undermine the importance of truth-telling and rational discourse in public discourse. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach that promotes media literacy, critical thinking, and civil discourse. Fostering a culture that values transparency, accountability, and evidence-based decision-making can help rebuild trust and create a more receptive environment for truth-telling in American society. Additionally, promoting ethical journalism, fact-checking initiatives, and creating spaces for constructive dialogue across ideological divides can contribute to a healthier information ecosystem. The treatment of whistleblowers can vary depending on the specific circumstances and the legal framework of a particular country. While some whistleblowers may face legal consequences or retaliation for revealing sensitive information, it is important to note that whistleblower protection laws exist in many countries, including the United States, to safeguard individuals who expose wrongdoing or provide information in the public interest. However, there are instances where whistleblowers have been subject to legal actions or faced negative repercussions. The reasons behind this can be complex and can include classified or sensitive information. Whistleblowers who disclose classified or sensitive information, particularly related to national security or intelligence matters, may face legal consequences due to the potential risks involved. Governments have a responsibility to protect sensitive information and maintain national security, which can lead to legal action against individuals who disclose classified information. Violation of confidentiality agreements or non-disclosure agreements, NDAs. Whistleblowers who have signed confidentiality agreements or NDAs may face legal consequences if they disclose information protected by those agreements. Breaching such agreements can result in civil litigation or other legal actions. Lack of adequate whistleblower protection laws. In some cases, legal frameworks may not provide sufficient protection for whistleblowers, leaving them vulnerable to retaliation. Inadequate whistleblower protection laws can discourage individuals from coming forward with valuable information due to fear of reprisal or legal consequences. Conflicts of interest and institutional resistance. Whistleblowers may expose wrongdoing within organizations or institutions, which can lead to conflicts of interest and resistance from powerful entities. These entities may employ legal means to discredit or punish whistleblowers in an attempt to protect their interests or reputation. Perception of damaging national interests. Whistleblowers who reveal information that is perceived as damaging to national interests or the interests of powerful entities may face legal action or backlash. The authorities or influential entities may argue that the disclosure of such information poses a risk to public safety, national security, or economic stability, leading to legal consequences for the whistleblower. It is worth noting that the treatment of whistleblowers and public perception can evolve over time. Controversies surrounding specific cases have led to debates on the importance of protecting whistleblowers and the need for legal reforms to provide better safeguards for those who expose wrongdoing in the public interest. Efforts to strengthen whistleblower protection laws, increase transparency, and encourage reporting mechanisms can contribute to a more supportive environment for truth-telling and the exposure of misconduct.